I don't want to say the gentleman is ignorant. He's very well educated. I think he lacks common sense when he made such a comment vis-a-vis funds for China. Either lack of common sense or extremely irresponsible. To look very carefully.
Unusually blunt language that coming from China's vice foreign minister. More so because the person at the receiving end is the chief US climate negotiator. But as the two major powers wrestle it out on various issues, the tempers are running high.
I was shocked, personally, I was shocked to read American negotiators' comment about whether US funds, American funds should go to China.
So if you want to know the bottom line secret of what this budget is about, I would submit to you it can be found in one action. That was in this administration sending Secretary of State Clinton to China to beg them to loan us more money.
We Americans buy their goods.
Hi. How's it going?
And we, of course, pay dollars. So China right now is sitting on a big sack of U.S. money, which they invest in America.
Well, let's say that the Chinese sack of dollars is $1.4 trillion thick.
That's a lot of money. So some Chinese are asking, why not take the profits that China has made in America and sell U.S. stocks and bonds and dollars and turn them into Chinese money so China can fix some of the problems they've got at home? So if China is going to change $1 trillion US into Chinese money, that means China is going to sell $1 trillion and buy a huge amount of Chinese money. And moving that much wealth from one nation to the other will lower the value of the US dollar, raise the value of Chinese money, with the unfortunate effect that then anything made in China becomes more expensive in America.
If they take $1.4 trillion out of the United States and pour it into China, the value of the Chinese currency is going to more than double. If it more than doubles, everything we buy from China will be more than twice the price.
And when the price of dolls and basketballs and everything goes up here and we buy less, what happens to all those people in China who have jobs making things for America? The Chinese government can't risk that, so for the moment, they can't take their money out of America. Not yet. Robert Krulwich, ABC News.
Cashed up and looking for bargains, China's state-owned companies have been spending up big. In Australia, buying iron and steel producer Midwest last year for around $1 billion US, offering almost $2 billion US for a friendly takeover of the debt-ridden Oz Minerals, almost $20 billion US for a stake in mining giant Rio Tinto. Both deals might yet be blocked by the Australian government.
China has enough money to spend, more money than it can actually spend.
Two state-owned oil companies in Russia received a $25 billion loan from China. In return, China gets 300,000 barrels a day for 20 years, the biggest energy deal ever between the two countries. On his first overseas trip this year, China's president headed to Saudi Arabia, the world's largest oil supplier and traditional ally of the United States. Energy was on top of the agenda. In recent days in Latin America, the vice president and vice premier fanned out making deals. Venezuela's controversial president Hugo Chavez promised China there was enough oil there for the next 200 years. And the Chinese are lending Brazil's oil giant Petrobras $10 billion in exchange for long-term oil supplies.
It's only now, because the rest of the world also needs financing, that they're able to buy up mining rights everywhere from Latin America to Russia to Australia.
Costa Rica received the final payment of a low-interest loan, $300 million US at just 2%. All it had to do was break off diplomatic ties with Taiwan.
part of the deal with Costa Rica was you break ties with Taiwan and you don't tell anyone we made you this loan. And the biggest problem with Chinese outward investment is it's not transparent.
With so many governments and companies strapped for cash, they're turning to the one place that's all cashed up. And along the way, analysts say China is not only buying political influence, but also securing energy and minerals, possibly for decades to come, at a bargain. John Vos, CNN Beijing.